Let's go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Heartland Highlight Reel for the week of February the 4th, 2026. My name is Dave Little, and we are recording from the Dave Cave with a recap of all the week's excitement in Heartland Championship Wrestling and around the Filsinger Games universe, and some big announcements here tonight on the Highlight Reel. So let's get to it. Last night in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it was the Heartland Ladies Wrestling taking center stage from Pittsburgh, hosted by the lovely and talented Denise Salcedo. And the show had plenty of excitement, plenty of controversy from start to finish. Kicking things off, it was a battle between Umagi Sayaka and the Dark Sheik. Back and forth they went. Umagi got the victory by pinfall after a double leg drop on the Dark Sheik, but the action didn't end there, as brawling continued after the match, and Umagi Sayaka put a beating on the Dark Sheik and sent the Dark Sheik away in humility. So big night for Unagi Sayaka in Pittsburgh. Next up was tag team action, as the team known as Team Sea Stars, Ashley Vox and Delmy Exo, took on the ever competitive team of Soraya Knight and Rhea O'Reilly. The British Invasion versus Team Sea Stars, and it was a count-out victory for Team Sea Stars. The Sea Stars were on the receiving end of a lot of brutal moves by the Invasion throughout that show, throughout that match, until Rhea O'Reilly made a mistake, tried to set up a table on the arena floor, only to get backdropped through that table by Delmy Exo, leading to a count-out victory for Team Sea Stars. Something of an upset there, as Soraya Knight and Rhea O'Reilly go down to defeat. And in the aftermath of those two battles, it was Denise Salcedo once again on the spot, booking a 6-woman grudge match for next month in Heartland Ladies Wrestling. It will be Umagi Sayaka and the Sea Stars against Dark Sheik, Soraya Knight, and Rhea O'Reilly. So a big night will occur next month in Heartland Ladies Wrestling. Next up, another match ending in disqualification, as Christina Von Eerie and Kenzie Page went mano a mano until Kenzie Page secured the assistance of a sledgehammer, which cost her the defeat at the hands by disqualification against Christina Von Eerie. Every match tried to outdo the previous match in terms of intensity. Finally, we got settled down into some good wrestling action. A battle of the powerhouses saw Chris Statlander get the win over Athena with a big scissor kick. Tag team action followed as the team of Lena Cross and Jessica Troy, the Aussies, defeated the BritFit team of Lana Austin and Rio. Jessica Troy looking good in that match, getting the submission victory over Lana by way of the Fujiwara armbar. Another powerhouse battle then pitted Sherry Martel against Kelly Klein, and it was Sherry getting the victory with a clothesline after a big comeback. Kelly Klein dominated a lot of that match, but Sherry mounted the comeback, felled Kelly Klein with a clothesline, and got the pinfall victory. Next up, it was a number one contenders match for the hotly contested Heartland Ladies Championship. Winner of this match would get a future title shot against whoever comes out with the title from the feud that we will talk about here in a few moments. But it was Nicole Savoy taking on Megan Bain, and Savoy got her submission game going, and Bain couldn't keep up. Nicole Savoy, by submission with the Savo lock, earns a title match at the Heartland Ladies Championship. Finally, in our main event, it was Mickie James with a successful defense of the Mistress of Mayhem Championship with a dominant victory over Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa just couldn't get it going. Mickie tied her up in knots. Mickie gets the pinfall with the O'Connor roll to successfully retain the Mistress of Mayhem Championship. She is on a roll, and the fans are loving it. We mentioned the title controversy in the ladies division. We've talked about it on this show in the past. Jordynne Grace held that title for almost all of 2025, but on the final show of 2025, she lost that title to the current title holder, Portia Perez, but not without the help of Portia Perez, Canadian Ninja Tag Team partner Nicole Matthews. And in the title rematch, it was Nicole Matthews coming to the assistance of Portia once again, getting Portia disqualified. Portia left once again with her title intact, and Jordynne Grace was enraged, demanding that her next rematch take place in a steel cage. Jordynne Grace wanted a match with Portia Perez in the steel cage for the title. In order to keep Nicole Matthews from sticking her nose into the title match business. That decision fell to Heartland Ladies Commissioner, Cheerleader Melissa. And last night in Pittsburgh, it was Cheerleader Melissa making her official announcement. She says that in her business and from her philosophy, she doesn't give anything to anybody. You got to earn it. So it will be Jordynne Grace taking on Nicole Matthews in a no disqualification match. And Jordynne Grace looks forward to that. She wants her piece of flesh out of Nicole Matthews for all the trouble that Nicole has caused. If Jordynne Grace wins that match, then the title rematch against Portia Perez will take place in the steel cage. So lots of excitement to come in Heartland Ladies Wrestling in the days and weeks to come. Now, news from around the Filsinger Games universe. Velvet Wrestling once again in action. A new Intercontinental Champion has been crowned. That man is Donovan Kane. He took the Intercontinental title from Johnny Wave this week in Velvet Wrestling, so we congratulate Donovan Kane. Other winners on that show, Steve Kern with a victory over Johnny Fargo. Brody King got the victory over Chris Harvard. And in ladies action in Velvet, it was Ms. Frankie J getting a victory over Susan Green. And the Alaskan sensation Freya the Slaya got a victory over Samantha Starr in Velvet. Our good friend Neely Bob, the #1 fan of the Heartland, keeps cranking out quality wrestling action up in Velvet. And now for tonight's big announcement. Something new, a new idea actually that I am kicking around is the idea of an interpromotional championship. An interpromotional championship. A championship that anybody and everybody affiliated with the Filsinger Games universe could get in on if they so choose. We are going to name that interpromotional championship the Butcher Interpromotional Championship in honor of our dearly departed good friend, fan of the Heartland, OhioCon Posse founding member, and a longtime friend of mine on a personal level, Kevin Butcher. We lost Kevin Butcher sadly and tragically last month. Lots of people from around the community have been doing things in his honor, and we deeply appreciate that. We did a tribute match for Kevin Butcher, and as I started kicking around this interpromotional championship idea, why not dedicate that to the memory of Kevin Butcher? Here is how this is going to go. Any promoter may enter a card into the tournament. We may have 4 guys, we may have 16 guys. Anybody who wants in can get in. Just tell me who you want to have included in the tournament. Official Filsinger released cards only. This will be no bootlegs, no Champions of the Galaxy, no fictitious wrestlers. And we do that simply because we want to keep quality control over all of the cards in this tournament and all of the wrestlers competing for the Interpromotional Championship. So we are going to limit that to official Filsinger released cards only. Once we get a tournament bracket set, we'll make those matches available to anybody who wants to run one. You'll get assigned a match, you'll run the match, you'll turn in your result, and the winners will move on. Title matches, once we have a champion crowned, then title matches will be available for any promoter. Just let us know on the in the comments in the Heartland highlight reel or in our weekend Heartland Championship Wrestling broadcasts. If you want to enter a card into the Butcher Interpromotional Championship Tournament, just drop a note in the YouTube comments section. We'll get the brackets set, and once we have a champion, then we will make that champion available to defend his title in any promotion in the Filsinger Games universe. Should be fun. Should be a way to get folks involved with one another in ways that will continue to keep the YouTube gaming universe interactive. So yeah, looking forward to the Interpromotional Championship. And finally, this coming weekend on Saturday, our next Heartland YouTube pay-per-view event. Heartland YouTube production event, The Hype Show. Heartland Havoc 132, You Can't Touch This. Your main event for that show out of the Omni in Atlanta will be for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Buddy Rogers, your reigning and defending NWA World Heavyweight Champion, will face Ken Patera, the winner of the 2026 Buckeye Bowl. So Ken Patera will cash it in against Buddy Rogers this Saturday night in Atlanta. Also in action, the Midnight Express set to defend the NWA Tag Team Championship against the Mongols. The event will be sponsored by the joint efforts of the Atlantic Wrestling Federation and Pro Wrestling Mid-America. So we'll see matches from both those territories on the show. PWMA Heavyweight Champion Jackie Fargo will be in Atlanta to defend the title against the very popular Dan Severn. The Atlantic Wrestling Federation title will be on the line as Paul Orndorff, the newly crowned champion, defends against the unpredictable Eric Young. In a steel cage, Pro Wrestling Mid-America Showdown, Diamond Dallas Page against JBL. Those two have had a long simmering rivalry which came to a head at the 2026 Buckeye Bowl, and they are going to get it on in a steel cage in Atlanta this weekend. Also in grudge match action, a dog collar match from the Atlantic Wrestling Federation. Bobo Brazil will take on Angelo Mosca in a dog collar match. Angelo Mosca been causing all kinds of trouble for all kinds of folks around the AWF, and Bobo Brazil is fixing to try and put a stop to it in Atlanta. Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Championship on the line. This should be a classic. The current champions representing the faction Whatever We Want. It's Stan Hansen and Ole Anderson, your reigning champions, defending the titles against the team of Nick Bockwinkel and Ray the Crippler Stevens. What a match that will be in Atlanta. And to kick off the show, if that's not enough, one of the hottest feuds of 2025 will be revisited as Pat Patterson takes on Kevin Steen. Both these men demanding a rematch at the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. That will be a #1 contenders match for the NWA World Championship. Patterson, Steen, main evented how many events in 2025, and they're just going to kick things off for us this weekend in Atlanta. All right, that's all we have tonight for your Heartland highlight reel. Actually, a good 15 minutes and counting, so lots to talk about here tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. Once again, remember, if you want to get involved in the Butcher Interpromotional Championship Tournament, make a comment on this video and tell me which wrestler you want to represent in the tournament. Preferably somebody who has a meaningful role in your federation. But any official released Filsinger card is fair game for this tournament. So line them up, and we will set the brackets and get the tournament rolling. Once again, don't forget this Saturday, Heartland Havoc 132. You can't touch this. Also, be sure to check out the Filsinger Games message board and the Filsinger Games promoters Facebook group for action from the other promoters: Neely Bob, Jeff Stafford, Frank Wainscott, James Lawrence III, all kinds of great promoters on the air and on social media. Every place you turn, Filsinger Legends of Wrestling action is in your face, and that's the way we like it. So from the Dave Cave, this is Dave Little signing off. That's our stream, and I am out of here.